Hotel Harani with Nurin Bahirah and Nurul Fakihah from Group G. We analyze cafe around UTeM. This story map aimed to develop web map and dashboard using GIS spatial analysis. For introduction, cafe play an important role in the daily life of students in University Technical Malaysia Melaka, serving as a hub for socializing and studying. As the university community grow, it is important to take a closer look at the cafe around the UTeM area to ensure easy and exclusive access. The report uses GIS, which is Geographic Information System technology, to assess the current cafe landscape, identify potential accessibility issue, and offer practical insight to optimize cafe around UTeM location. For the problem statement, the growing demand for accessible and diverse cafe around UTeM option has led to potential challenges in the current cafe distribute at UTeM. Uneven accessibility, congress area, distance between faculty and resident, and limited visibility of available cafe spaces are issues that need attention. To address this issue, a GIS-based analysis is needed to determine the location of the cafe, measure the distance between the cafe and the faculty and student resident, record frequency of student visits to the cafe, and to address the observed problem. For the primary objective of this survey is to utilize GIS and spatial analysis technique in this project. First, to conduct an accessibility analysis to assess their proximity to academic building, residing college, and communal space. Second, examine existing cafe capacity and compare it to observed demand to identify potential area for improvement. Third, determine the distance between cafe and their respective target audience to anticipate movement, measure the distance between the cafe and the faculty of residents using the street on the map. 4. Identify area with high demand and foot traffic, suggesting optimal location for new cafe. Thank you.
Next part is survey 123. The survey 123 that our team has created is designed to gather the valuable insight from student body and perspective. The survey 123 we have created is to aim to understand the student needs, student preference, and the expectation of students regarding their life in the UTeM campus. So by creating the survey, we can collect the comprehensive data which we can aim which are the least cafe that student can pick, discover the strength to be celebrated, and to ensure that every student can feel supported and engaged during their time in UTeM. So our team has created 7 simple questions for students need to fill in the form and answer. So these are the questions that our team has created. So the questions are, which are the cafe located at? So students need to pinpoint which cafe building that they usually visit and the name of the building. What are the main reasons that students visit the cafe? This is the multiple choices answers. Next is what time the student usually visit the cafe. The range of satisfied with the speed of service. The cleanliness rating, and last but not least is any recommendation to improve the cafe based on the student preference. So based on those answers and based on this gathering question and answers from student that have met, our team has created a complete dashboard that represents the analysis of survey, which is it allows us to identify the preference of student UTeM regarding of the cafe. So the dashboard that I show now is the collective of answer and question that met by 30 students. So in dashboard, I have attached the summarize of each question. For example, like the count of students visiting the cafe, time student, the main reason why students visiting the cafe, the number of cleanliness, and the maps. So let's go through all of those elements. Based on the collective 30 student answer, Cafe Pelajar 2 is the most big choices made by student UTeM, which is 7 students, and Cafe Al Jazari is the least made by student pick, which is only one student that picked the Cafe Al Jazari. Next is the time that students usually go to cafe. Based on this analysis and graph, the Cafe Pelajar 2 is the most visited by the student in the time of 12 p.m. until 5 p.m., which is the range of lunch hour, the lunch hour. For the reason students go to cafe, we have two same result, which is study and eating with the same amount of count for each student that have choose the answer eating and study and eating. And the list is study, eating and others, study and others, and eating affordable prices and also others. Oh. Next is the number of cleanliness that made by student. The Tea and Shea Coffee and Cafe Plaza 2 has rated by the most cleanliness that answered by the student, while the Cafe Lestari, Cafe Satria, and Tea and Shea Coffee is rated with the least number of cleanliness made by student. We have two maps based on we have two maps attached on the dashboard, which are the first one is the map that has point by the student based on the survey. So as we can see, there are 30 points that made by student based on 6 locations on different cafe. Second map is the buffer analysis that our team has created based on which cafe are nearest to the hostel.
My name is Nurul Fakiha. I will continue this presentation by talking about the spatial analysis. The map below displays the locations of cafes in UTeM. The points on the map indicate the exact locations of each cafe. This is the UTeM cafe map point. As you can see in this map, there are several points. If you click on a point, you can view the attributes associated with that point. This attribute data is obtained from our survey 123, answered by students at UTeM. Various attributes appear such as recommendations to improve the cafe, time for students typically visit cafes, cleanliness rating, they satisfied with the speed of service, the main reason visit the cafe, and which cafe they usually to visit. Alright, next we proceed with a map tour because we want to display image and name of the cafes so that people can easily identify them. If we only provide the map, one would need to click on each point to know the cafe's name, but they will not see the image of the cafe. So let's go to our map tour. So the first one is Cafe Lestari. Go to the Cafe Al Jazari. Next is Cafe Satria, Cafe Plaza 1 FKIKK, Cafe Plaza 2 PPP, and He and She Coffee is located at the library. Now let's move on to our buffer and overlay. As figure 1 illustrates, we have a hostel and cafe buffer. To create this buffer, we use ArcGIS Online. The initial step involves using a sketch layer and selecting the polygon tool to generate a new layer called the hostel layer shown in figure 2. We then choose the survey 1 to 3 layer data as input for the buffer, selected a distance value, in this case we choose 100 meters, and name the output is cafe hostel buffer to identify hostels within 100 meter proximity to the cafe, such as in figure 3. Returning to figure 1, you can observe the output. The blue circle represents the buffer, helping identify the hostel within 100 meters of proximity to the cafe. Next, let's discuss the overlay. So in figure 4 illustrates the cafe and data survey 123 overlay. To perform the overlay, we use a sketch layer and the polygon tool to create a new layer, the cafe layer. This facilitates overlaying this layer with data from survey 123. Using the overlay tools, we input the data cafe layer and overlay it with the UTeM cafe layer shown in figure 4. After clicking run, you can see the result in figure 7. Following the overlay between the two layers, we outlines the locations single symbol style. However, since our primary goal is to identify cafes with the highest students footfall, we opted for the heat map style, which is in figure 8 shows the legend indicating cafe frequented by students based on the colors. So returning to figure 4, you can see that the Cafe Plaza 2 has the highest number of student visits, while Azazari has the lowest.